Hey guys, today I thought we'd look at some of the best Dwarf Fortress board. Dwarf Fortress is a pretty expansive game and a great sandbox, but if you want to add some more sand or even some more colorful sand to this sandbox, you can do so. That's the beauty of modding, and where this list will help you decide the best mods that you should add to Dwarf Fortress to make the game better or completely overhaul it. Number 10. Interface Tweaks. Interface Tweaks is a quality of life mod from Transact that displays an actions hotkey atop its icon. This means that players will no longer need to hover over an icon in order to see its associated hotkey, which is great for those that are not interested in memorizing all the keyboard controls. Additionally, the mod makes it more difficult to accidentally disband a military squad in Dwarf Fortress, a situation that can be quite frustrating indeed. Number 9. Daisy's Exotic Pets Emporium. In Dwarf Fortress, having pets is a fantastic element that really brings your game to life. The pets add more variety to life to your tunnels and happiness to your dwarf's faces. This mod, as you could expect, allows you to tame and keep more of the game's exotic animals as pets. If it's big enough to ride, you can ride. If you want to really add variety to the game, then create a zoo or simply have an armada of strange creatures by your side. Number 8. Dizzy's Dog Breeds. A dog is a dwarf's best friend, but the default dog in Dwarf Fortress feels more plain and boring. Fortunately, Dizzy Crash has come to the rescue. Dizzy's Dog Breeds adds a variety of different dog breeds into the game to replace the generic one. Some examples include a German Shepherd, Mastiff, and even a lovingly referenced Battle Pug. This mod adds a surprisingly pleasant atmosphere to your fortress. Seeing all kinds of different dogs running around you for always brings everything to life. Before long, you'll be the happy manager of a dwarf kennel instead of Dwarf Fortress. Number 7. Audible Alerts. Another great mod from Transact, Audible Alerts does exactly what its name suggests, adds audio cues to many of the game's alerts. Unfortunately, this mod is not capable of adding audio cues to the start of combat in Dwarf Fortress, though it should manage to make it easier to stay on top of many other important alerts. Number 6. Better Instruments. Vanilla Dwarf Fortress offers a procedural instrument creation system. In terms of creative storytelling, this system can be a great way to add more flavor to your world and some more culture. Each instrument is unique and unrecognizable from any real life counterparts. The issue is that it also makes every instrument boring from a gameplay perspective. Transact's Better Instruments fixes this problem by revamping the instrument system. Better Instruments replaces Raw Fortress's procedurally generated instruments with a set of bespoke instruments designed to address those issues. This mod adds 21 new instruments, 10 available in Fortress mode by default, designed to be recognizable, reasonably challenging to create, and thematically appropriate. Number 5. Reduce Z-level fog. The elevation mechanic in Dwarf Fortress is great. However, it can become quite jarring when you can only see a few elevations down. If you're leading an expedition party up a steep hill, it will be difficult to control all of them when you can only see a few of them at a time. What if a dangerous creature attacks the rear and you can't see it unfold? This mod allows more transparency to the fog layers, so you will be able to see so much more. It also makes the game seem a little more realistic as the fog becomes gradual. This is another quality of life mod everyone needs. Number 4. Dwarvamon. Thriving in the Dwarven Fortress sounds great, but you know what sounds better? Thriving in the Dwarven Fortress with Pokemon. Dwarvamon by Fire Phoenix 11 has stepped through the multiverse and added 898 Pokemon to Dwarven Fortress. This includes all of their evolutions, abilities, and even status conditions. Generations 1 through 8 are covered, while Generation 9 Pokemon are on the list. Finally, you can live a dwarf trainer's dream of catching, raising, and battling Pokemon from the comfort of a fortress. The only downside to the mod is that while completely functional, it doesn't currently offer individual graphics for all the Pokemon. Thankfully, the modding scene of Dwarf Fortress moves quickly, and it won't be long until another talented model takes the next step. Number 3. Dizzy's Deadly Caverns. If Dwarf Fortress is a little too tame or easy for you, or if you want to add Dark Souls style bosses to the undergrounds, then you can really up the ante with the Deadly Caverns mod. There are less limitations to evil creatures, meaning you will be encountering them more frequently and much higher up than they used to be. If you plan on going deep underground, then you'd better prepare carefully. This mod essentially ups the difficulty level for those veteran dwarves who want a challenge.
Hey, you! You're finally awake.
Number 2. Elder Scrolls mod. If you want to change the in-game experience and make the game more like 2D Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls mod is one of the best options available. The mod adds new metals and rebalances the old vanilla metals. Iron and vanilla iron become the worst resources of this mod. One more significant change is that Elder Scrolls mod adds functionality to all playable game races. Also, the developer of this mod announced that he wants to make orcs and nords playable. So the best option is to follow this mod's progress as it might bring more critical changes in the future. Number 1. The Long Night. Man ruled the solar system once. In its grand epoch spanning thousands of years, Earth was the jewel of a great solar empire. Its every square inch morphed into a sprawling factory city, pumping out countless advanced resources to supply colonies from the clouds of Venus all the way to the moons of Saturn. None know for sure what happened exactly. Something went wrong for certain. Perhaps a war between those who pushed for nanomachines to do away with traditional technology and those who viewed its power as uncontrollable. Or it could have been the radical transhumanists who plunged the planet into a new dark age to fuel their own ascent. Man's own hubris, maybe. His rapacious lust for more resources sending the world into a death spiral. Or perhaps something yet more sinister. The result everything knows. Earth's fall called its wayward children of all kinds back to its shattered surface, and the haggard survivors of the fallen colonies found a realm far unlike that was documented in their own histories. A hellish wasteland filled with mutated horrors, half-mad cybernetic demigods, and powers greater still. A world of constant, unending warfare as the children of man fight for the chance to rebuild and establish their own grandiose vision of the future. Whether it be the great old powers of the ancient nobles, the first of the new men, the demigod executors and their slaves, the barbaric post-humans and their thralls, or even the scattered remnants of true humanity. The future is uncertain. All that can be known is that the night will be long and harsh indeed, and only the hardiest and most determined will even stand a chance of seeing a new dream. If you want to add cyberpunk and Dune, with all the futuristic weapons that come with it, like plasma swords and laser rifles to Dwarf Fortress, look no further than this mod. The Last Night is a complete overhaul mod for Dwarf Fortress that makes the game go from medieval to sci-fi and from sticks and stones to lasguns and plasma bombs. Right now, sadly, this mod only exists for the original old version of Dwarf Fortress, but the modder who made this, Corbus, has said that this mod will return for the Steam version, so be sure to keep your eyes out for this amazing overhaul mod of Dwarf Fortress. So that was the list of the top 10 mods of Dwarf Fortress for the year 2022. As Dwarf Fortress gets more popular and accessible, there will be way more mods in the future. Who knows, maybe one of you degenerates will add catgirls or some other bullshit. But for now, that's their list. And I will be sure to update it in the future. See you later. Bye.